Atula, now see, today is the 30th. See, we're already on the last day of this month.
Sorry, we are taking a short break at this point.
Break?
This is Talk with Atula. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Why the unscheduled break?
I forgot that today's the 30th. There are some urgent transactions.
Transact wherever you are on your mobile phone via the People's Wave mobile banking app or People's Wave internet banking facility. Join the People's Bank digital banking revolution now.
Need to pay a bill or do a money transfer? Just do it during the next break.
People's Bank digital banking, your ultimate convenience.
In a few moments, the news.
People's Bank digital banking, your ultimate convenience.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa resigns. Parliamentarian Patali Champika Ranawaka says that if the government agrees to the economic programme submitted by him, he is ready to work with the government. It has been stressed that malpractices of electricity engineers have been directly affected the power crisis in the country. Litro Gas Lanka Limited says there will be no distribution of domestic LP gas today. Foreign news, Boris Johnson tries to reset leadership with housing pleasures. News in detail. Former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa says he has stepped down from his SLBC nationalist seat in Parliament. Addressing a special media briefing convened in Colombo today, former minister said he has tendered his letter of resignation to the Secretary-General of Parliament. He said the Podujana Peramuna has the ability to appoint another member for his vacant post from the national list. However, Rajapaksa revealed that he does not intend to withdraw from politics. Parliamentarian Patali Champika Ranawaka says that if the government agrees to the economic programme submitted by him, he is ready to work with the government. The Prime Minister should prepare the 21st Amendment to the Constitution by July, as promised. He made these remarks at a media briefing held today after being appointed as an independent MP in Parliament. The electricity supply has been obstructed due to the non-implementation of projects in a timely manner and the conduct of mismanagement. He also stated that whoever comes into power, the existing queues will not end within a day. The former Director of Customs, Parakrama Basnayaka, says that malpractices of the electricity engineers have been directly affected the power crisis in the country. 600 million rupees is spent for the 1,160 electricity engineers monthly. Sri Lanka is rich with wind and solar power resources. Therefore, there's a possibility to generate electricity through renewable sources. The electricity engineers oppose the implementation of renewable power since 2013. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank digital banking, your ultimate convenience.
Litro Gas Lanka Limited says there will be no distribution of domestic LP gas today. The country's primary LP gas supplier said it expects to resume the distribution process soon. Meanwhile, a shipment of 3,900 metric tons of LP gas reached Colombo yesterday. However, the unloading process will begin after the balance payment of $2.5 million is settled. According to Litro Gas, this LP gas shipment will be sufficient for 6 days. The chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Neil Dialvis, says that the board has the paddy reserves sufficient for the next 6 months. He also said that there are 71,000 metric tons of paddy at the storage which was purchased from the past Yala and Maha seasons. And that ends local news for now.
Transact wherever you are on your mobile phone via the People's Wave mobile banking app or People's Wave internet banking facility. People's Bank digital banking, your ultimate convenience.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmaya.
65,000 metric tons of urea provided by the Government of India will arrive in the island within the first 2 weeks of next month. Minister Mahinda Amravira has made these remarks at a discussion held to review the progress of the agricultural projects implemented on foreign aids. Action will be taken to distribute these urea fertilizer to the farmers as soon as the fertilizer is received. A packet of fertilizer will be sold at 10,000 rupees. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepu Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the department's Deputy Controller and Media spokesperson Pumi Bandara said that there is a 250% increase in the passport issuing process daily at the Immigration and Emigration Department, and she said that there is no shortage of material to issue passports and the stock in hand is sufficient to manage the demand for more than 6 months. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to a bulletin of world news in the headlines. Boris Johnson tries to reset leadership with housing pledges. Russia stepping up offensive in Luhansk. South Africa to expand clean energy capacity to meet demand. World news in detail. Boris Johnson will promise to boost home ownership later as he attempts to repair relations with Tory MPs who revolted against his leadership. In a speech in Lancashire, the PM is expected to say he wants to extend the right to buy to people who rent from housing associations. He will also promise action in the coming weeks to cut household costs. It comes after 4 in 10 of his MPs voted against him in a confidence vote on Monday, triggered by Partygate. Russia's military is stepping up its offensive in the eastern Ukrainian region of Luhansk, forcing Ukrainians to fight tough battles. But Russian forces are on the defensive in Kherson and other southern regions. A Ukrainian Defense Ministry spokesman said yesterday that the harshest fighting is in the Ukrainian stronghold of Severodonetsk in the east. The official said enemy forces are sparing no equipment or personnel. Luhansk Governor Sari Hadai told local media that the situation in Severodonetsk is severe. South African Deputy President David Mabuza said yesterday that the National Electricity Utility Eskom has proposed extra 8,000 megawatts of clean energy projects over the next 2 to 5 years to reduce load shedding. The load shedding is mainly due to breakdowns of the old and aging power generation infrastructure, said Mabuza at the National Assembly, the lower house of Parliament in Cape Town. South Africa has an immediate need for 4,000 megawatts to 6,000 megawatts additional generation capacity per year to provide generation capacity surplus on the system, thus allowing maintenance to improve reliability and predictability of its coal-fired power stations, which account for most of Eskom's generation capacity, he said. Back to the headlines of the world news. Boris Johnson tries to reset leadership with housing pledges. Russia stepping up offensive in Luhansk, and South Africa to expand clean energy capacity to meet demand. That ends world news. And moving on to development news. Sri Lanka Vocational Training Authority has taken measures to provide vocational training programs on 2 courses, including Japanese language for the youth of the southern province. Courses on Japanese language and food processing will be conducted at the Ahangama Hotel School. The persons who are in the age group of 19 to 35 in the province can participate. And that was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Today is the 3rd day of the National Junior Athletics Meet, which is being held at the Colombo Sugadadasa Stadium. The athletes were able to establish 5 new records of matches. The sports festival is being conducted under 5 categories. The matches will be conducted targeting the World Junior Sports Festival, which will be held in Colombia in September. And that is sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority SLTDA says that in the current challenging environment in Sri Lanka, the tourism industry is expected to earn $800 million this year. The SLTDA says it is confident that between 800,000 and 850,000 foreign tourists will visit Sri Lanka by the end of this year, and all the institutions involved in the tourism industry are also planning to implement a joint program, a short-term plan for the promotion of the tourism industry till the year 2023 has been presented, and it is divided into short-term, medium-term and long-term. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Several new projects will be implemented to encourage tea smallholders and cultivators. This program is being initiated by the Small Tea Holders Development Authority. Measures will also be taken to provide financial and additional allowance to the tea recultivators. Accordingly, 7,500 rupees will be provided for them. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
And in the weather report, the Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the Sabragama province and in the Kandy Nuwara and in the Kalutara districts. Several special showers will occur in the northwestern province and in the Gampaha Colombo, Galle and in the Matra districts. Fairly strong winds, about 40 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times in the northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota district. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. Former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa resigns. Parliamentarian Partali Champika Ranawaka says that if the government agrees to the economic program submitted by him, he is ready to work with the government. It has been stressed that malpractices of electricity engineers have been directly affected the power crisis in the country. Litrogas Lanka Limited says there will be no distribution of domestic LP gas today. In foreign news, Boris Johnson tries to reset leadership with housing pleasures. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.